Okay, so Casey Neistat put out this video called Burnout YouTubers and was talking about this article right here. The world's biggest YouTube stars told us they're burning out because of the unrelenting pressure to post new videos. This is on Insider. And he had a lot of really interesting things to say, and he talked about how burnout is a major part of how YouTube works, and how these big creators, they are pressured to upload every single day to get the results, which is, you know, higher subscriber counts, high video view counts, these sorts of things, and how this ends up making this major problem in the long run, because over time this begins to plateau. This is all sort of stuff that he talks about.
You try so hard to get to this level, you get there, and in order to maintain that, you know you just got to keep cranking out that work, and in the absence of doing that, it starts to feel like you're not successful. It's like a reluctance to look in the rear view to appreciate how far you've come.
And Casey is exactly right with a lot of these things that he says in this video. But I also want to take it to the next level. See, YouTube as a platform is actually terrible for people who want to be artists and people who want to actually create things. Let me explain why. YouTube has the same innate problem that you find in an Instagram following or having a Twitter following. YouTube works a lot more like a social media platform than it does a medium of art like film or painting or even TV episodes. It's completely different. YouTube does not reward people on quality. YouTube rewards on quantity. YouTube rewards on how many videos you can put up as quickly as you possibly can. This is how you grow on YouTube. And this is what Casey Neistat talked about when he talks about relevancy.
Relevancy is this word that I think gets thrown around way too often on YouTube, because I think relevancy or clout is way overhyped. Clout is something that is by definition temporary. You have clout, you have relevancy today, but what does that mean for tomorrow?
See, the problem with being a professional YouTuber is a problem that, you know, entrepreneurs and other businessmen and even other major filmmakers do not have. Because the problem with YouTube is it is fully a personal brand. YouTube is all about you as the creator getting in touch with your audience on a one-to-one basis, which means it makes it a lot more difficult to create massive long-term growth when you basically have to do all of the work and your entire channel is built upon you doing all of the work. The problem with that is there is no scalability. See, in businesses, what you can do is when you make $1 million, you can take that $1 million and put it back into your business. You can, you know, run more ads or hire more people or do these sorts of things to grow the infrastructure of your business. But YouTube is not the same way. Sure, you might be able to hire an editor and you might be able to do a couple things, but at the end of the day, you are the one that has to be in front of the camera because it is your personal brand. It is you as a person that actually carries your content.
No matter what I'm doing, whether I'm on vacation with my family or I'm holding my baby daughter, I have this constant pressure, as most creators do, that is, what am I gonna upload today?
Film works in a different way as well. See, great writers or great directors don't have to release a film every single year or every single 6 months to stay in the consciousness of their fan base. What they do is they focus on quality, not quantity. This is how you can have people like Wes Anderson and Christopher Nolan. They don't make films every year. When they make films, it takes them 2, 3, 4, even 5 years sometimes to make a film, but they still don't lose their core audience, and every time they seem to grow and get bigger, and people always are coming back for more because they are creating quality work, not a quantity of work. And the problem is it's very difficult to do both really well, especially on YouTube, where YouTube rewards people for uploading every single day, and it is very difficult to create consistent quality videos every single day. And so you have this constant struggle between quality and quantity, and this is why YouTubers burn out. This is why they cannot handle doing these videos over and over again, is because they have their quality bar up here. And the fact that it's quality was necessary because there's a lot of people putting out a lot of stuff on YouTube. And so they need a certain level of quality, but at the same time, they cannot make any movement without also having a high level of quantity. So they have this high level of quality, or as high as they can make it, and this massively high level of quantity, and it is just an unsustainable system, especially on top of it being a personal brand, because they can never stop. They cannot, as a person, stop. They cannot take a day off and have somebody else run things. They have to be there in front of the camera, talking, giving their ideas, living their life, and putting that on YouTube. This all comes back to relevancy and why I don't think YouTube is the greatest place for art to live, because the way that YouTube is monetized and the way that these things occur and work is that you need popularity and you need massive levels of support and followers to actually make any serious money and to actually get this system working. And to get large amounts of followers and support, you have to be uploading all the time. And this is why you have such high levels of burnout, specifically on YouTube, that you don't always see in other areas. Sure, filmmakers and writers and people who exist within these other mediums absolutely do experience burnout, but burnout and YouTube seem to be like married to one another. They're always talked about together, and this is why, because YouTube is basically built as a system to burn people out. And YouTube is based upon this type of content. YouTube is based upon content with no real lasting power. Like Jake Paul and Logan Paul, for example, nobody's gonna talk about them in 2 or 3 years when their channels die or when they go do something else, because they're not creating anything meaningful. They're just creating entertainment at a rapid pace. And that is how you survive on YouTube, but that is not how you survive as an artist. However, there are exceptions to this rule, and Casey talks about Shane Dawson in his video and how Shane is actually an exception to this rule.
I find this part very optimistic. Shane Dawson, who has nearly 20 million YouTube subscribers, is on a YouTube hiatus after filming an 8-part docuseries about Jake Paul. Dawson has kept his crown as the king of YouTube even though he's been absent for 3 months. In my humble opinion, it is quality that leads to longevity. It's making meaningful work that yields a career that will last. Not chasing clout, not chasing relevancy today, but instead making work that an audience, that viewers, that people can believe in and get behind. That is how you build a long, meaningful career. And I do think that that is something that's tremendously undervalued on YouTube.
See, what Shane Dawson is doing is he's bringing you something that you cannot find in other people or in other channels. Like the Jake Paul documentary, for example, that he did, right? You cannot find this sort of stuff on all channels on YouTube. And he's focusing on these intense, high quality videos that allow him to have this staying power even when he has hiatuses from YouTube. And this is really what you want to be able to do as an artist. You don't want to be able to be working at such a feverish rate that you can never stop and breathe and sort of create longevity for your own health and psychology and ability to create more and to continue your snowball. This is why quality should always be valued higher than quantity. But this is not how our brains now operate. We're so focused on instant gratification that we cannot focus on creating something quality. See, viewers and creators both have this problem with instant gratification, because with viewers, the more that a creator uploads consistently, the more they enjoy it. Boom, there's a new video, new video, new video, new video. And so you always come back, and every day you come back to this person's channel to see what they've uploaded. And as the person making the videos, what happens is the second you hit that upload button, now you're going to YouTube comments and likes and saying, okay, what are people saying? What are people doing? Are people liking my video? It works the same way that Instagram and Twitter does, where you're so focused on likes and comments and these sorts of things that it encourages you to upload, 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 upload. And this is a serious problem if you want to actually create quality work. The problem with this is that YouTubers are telling new people who want to be YouTubers and don't really know what they want to do what they are doing, to upload consistently, upload every single day, and just focus on uploading, no matter what upload, no matter what upload. And they are correct, that is how you survive. But the problem with that is it's just monkey see, monkey do, right? There's no sort of analyzing whether or not this is a good system. It's just sort of like, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you survive. And then that person, you know, starts their own channel and uploads until they run themselves into the ground, because they're just doing exactly what the people that they have followed have told them to do. And so YouTube, when you really look at it, is a numbers game, not a quality game. It's a numbers game on how consistently you can upload. It's a numbers game on views. It's a numbers game on subscribers. The entire thing is built upon numbers games. But the problem is, it is not a scalable platform. So you have this whole game set on numbers, but you can never expand what you produce to match the numbers that you receive. So basically you can't, you can't hire more people. You can't, dump more money into your business to run, more advertisements or to put your product in front of more people. Instead, it's all you, it all rests upon you. So what happens is you just have this problem where one side massively scales, you hit 10 million subscribers, but then the other side cannot scale at all. You're doing the same amount of work that you were able to do when you had 100 subscribers. And now that you have all this massive following, you can't take a break, because now to even maintain this, you have to consistently upload. And so what used to be getting you thousands and thousands of subscribers, and you were making all these moves, and every day you woke up and you checked like your subscriber counter and you were up 500 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers, now it doesn't mean anything anymore, and you're stagnating, and you're just hitting these like high level plateaus, and you can never get over them because you cannot scale any harder, because you as a person are only one person, and your entire YouTube channel is built on you. And it is good to see people like Shane Dawson who have figured out how to handle YouTube and create quality content on this platform to show that it still can be done. But I would not recommend you start a YouTube channel. I think that there are better ways to do what you want to do. There are better ways to get famous. There are better ways to, make hundreds of thousands of dollars. There are better ways to put your art and your work in front of people. You don't really hear about certain people like Christopher Nolan on a day-to-day basis. He's never really in the news. He doesn't have a Twitter account. He doesn't have an Instagram. He doesn't have a YouTube channel where he's talking about the things that he's doing. We only really see him when he creates a film and when he puts it out into the world and we go to the theater and we watch it. That's the only time we really have a major connection to him or to what he's doing. But still, he is able to maintain this high level of quality and this high audience base. And that is really what you want, especially if you are going to go into something that requires you to be the driving force of this thing at all times, especially in an artistic field. Then you want to do something like he is doing. You want to do one thing at a very high level of quality so that you do not have to beg for people's attention over and over and over and over again. And so I think that, whatever you want to do, for me, I want to write. That is what I would like to do in the long term. I want to be able to scale my stories and the things I want to say without being forced to spend hours and hours and hours and hours every day begging for people's attention. And I'm not saying this as an attack on YouTubers or anything like that, but I'm saying that it is the reality and it is how YouTube works. And for people who are thinking about starting a YouTube channel or who their biggest dream is to be a YouTuber, I think it's something important to at least think about.